If you put Keita in there, or if you put Lallana in there, there'll be a problem. You'd lose a couple of games. Things could happen. Not with Hendo. Would De Bruyne keep Villa up? I think he breaks down against injury.
I think Mane's their best player.
The only argument I can see to Mane is De Bruyne.
It just feels horrendous to put him in that category 5. It doesn't feel right at all.
Alright, back anyway. Great touch, lads. It's been a while. My name's James Allcott, QPR fan, and my hair goes which way, guys?
To the left.
To the left.
Because?
I'm a Championship fan. James Owen, Chelsea fan, season ticket holder, like myself. Not a Chelsea season ticket holder, but season ticket holder. His hair, of course, goes that way because he's a Premier League fan. Craig is a Stoke City fan. Yeah. What league do they play in, Craig?
They play the Championships.
Exactly.
It goes to the left.
And Dom is a Brentford fan currently, and I mean currently, a Championship club. Thus, his hair goes to the left, but could very soon be going to the right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
What about League One?
We can only
Yeah,
agree.
we get down to League
It goes
One.
back. Yeah, it goes back as well.
So it goes to the right then?
It goes forwards.
Yeah.
Goes
It goes down.
Yeah. So if you learn anything from this tier list, it is that your quiff needs to be going left if you're a Championship fan, right if you're a Premier League
And then
fan.
alternates down the leagues basically.
Yeah.
Right to the bottom.
Really
Keep an eye
simple.
out. Keep an eye out for it.
Hope that helps. So Player of the Year. I have tweeted out to you guys and asked for a Player of the Year for every single Premier League club. I have 20 here. You might not agree with them, but we are going to talk through them and we are going to rank them with the following criteria. If we disagree with it, which there's a few, there's one I'm pointing at right now, and I think you disagree with that one.
Yeah,
he will push for it to be put in a certain tier. That tier would be not for me. It's just not for me. There might be another option. Best of a bad bunch, so we agree, but it doesn't mean he's good. One season wonder. So yeah, well done, congratulations. Yeah. But, you know, it's just for one season. I think you understand what that phrase means.
Well done.
Earned a move.
I thought you were speaking French.
Which of course is French for
Earned a move.
worthy of a move.
He wants to leave.
It's time to leave.
Yeah.
So have they earned a move with this great season that they've had? And finally, PFA nominee. Are they in that category?
Made it.
And at the end of this tier list, we will go through those and we will pick our PFA Player of the Year.
That's a cracking tier list.
Thank you.
I have to say.
How many?
strong.
Technically, how many
clear.
should there be in the nominees? I do 5.
Oh yeah, I've got 6 in my head. Okay. But you know,
We'll do as many as we think.
Yeah.
Oh, we can go nuts with this. Yeah, it's not official. This isn't going anywhere. is it?
15. You want 15 in it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not going anywhere beyond this podcast, is it?
Okay,
No,
let's
no.
kick off with a little guy. Let's go with Chelsea straight off the bat.
Really?
Okay. Well, the one you've got written there, we're
that's
not
fine.
doing
We'll
that
change
one.
that. Yeah, we'll change that one. So,
Mix it up.
Owen, as a season ticket holder, you know football better than other people. We all get that.
Oh.
And thus, you've gone with this player, which everyone will, 100% of the Chelsea fan base, I presume, will totally agree with this choice.
I represent, yeah, obviously.
That man is Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, I think that to be totally honest, I found it not difficult, but there's not really one massive standout player for us this season. But Tammy's obviously first full season for us in the Premier League. He's got 13 league goals, done well in the Champions League and elsewhere. So that transition from Villa to the Premier League. Look, I think he's done brilliant, and without his goals, he wouldn't be anywhere really. No one else is putting anything in the back of the net, so
you'd be lost without it. Is what you're saying?
We're making up new categories.
No, we can't be doing that.
No, that's the old one.
So with Tammy Abraham, I'm actually quite a big fan of Tammy Abraham, and I think the pressure that was on him at the start of the season was huge. Actually, for him to kind of step up from the Championship, regardless of how well he's done at youth level, or even how well he's done in the Championship, it was a lot.
I wasn't sure he could do it, to be honest, at the beginning of the season. I was a little bit
Do you still
apprehensive.
Are you certain that you can do it now?
That's a good question. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I think I've seen enough to realise that there's certain things he needs to improve. he does need a few chances before he puts one in the back of the net. He has missed a few chances this season.
Could you win the league with him up front?
Good question.
No, really good question. Exactly why you're here.
It depends who's around him.
Yeah.
If he's got, if he gets the service like with Ziyech next season, that whipping in some balls, he's not bad in the air.
You got a question?
I am actually
What you got?
just building on Dom's one because we're trying to really squeeze you into how much you rate him or have faith in him. If you had to put 10 grand on him being at Chelsea in 5 years, would you do that?
Exactly
If he's not there,
Why 10 grand?
I don't know.
Is it my
It's your
money?
own money. So basically,
But I'm
how much you
forced
rate
to
him?
do it.
Yeah, you have to put 10 grand.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at Chelsea in 5 years. Would you say yes or no?
Well, it's all relative. How much are you on a year?
yeah.
Say it to the camera.
Yes.
Hang on a minute.
10 grand. You can't get it wrong.
Grand on him in 5 years.
Yeah. Do you think you've got the qualities to sustain your 10 grand? Is you worthy of that risk?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
I think so. He's going to improve, certainly.
Muddying the formats. So with that in mind,
We're going to do more 10 grand.
yeah, we'll see. That's a good shout. Get your 10 grand questions in the comments below. Maybe that's a new format. I like it. So PFA nominee, earned a move, one season wonder, best of a bad bunch. Not for me.
It goes in there.
I don't know where he goes. I mean, you could say one season wonder because it's been one season.
And it's been wonderful.
Technically.
It's not a bad thing.
Here we go, right? Earn a move /
Can't change them.
No, it's fine. Earn a move / contract.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Give him that.
Abraham.
Perfect.
There is a new
Contract
contract
extension.
on the table.
I bet there is.
So
Is there? Perfect.
Yeah.
Figured out. So there we
there's
go.
a 5-year.
It's best.
10 grand a week. That's
Yeah, I would put him. I would definitely put him
Devastating.
under that category.
What are the odds?
Well, there's only one.
10,000.
So it's just about, okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So basically, I just get it back.
Okay.
That is a terrible bet.
I would put him under that category. And I think the other two players that I would single out from Chelsea personally would be Kovacic.
Yep. Good
Was it-
shout.
yeah.
That was the other one. That was what I had originally, but I changed
Yeah,
it.
I mean he's been brilliant at like beating the press. He's so good at that position, isn't he?
Very good.
And Pulisic before he got injured. I mean he look for me he looks like a really good player.
In bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think watch this space. Well, not this space.
This
He
space.
doesn't play here.
Watch this video and stop watching this
I've got
Don't
a
put
feeling,
10
I've got
grand
a
on it.
feeling he will go further than Tammy Abraham.
Sure, that's good. We can do the odd special mention here and there because Jorginho I'd chuck in there as well. I think he's turned it
risen,
around
hasn't
quite well.
I just have to quickly comment then, Don. When you said beat the press, I think he's done what with the press? Altercation.
Nothing,
He knows-
nothing to do with
he knows how to deal with
the
pressing
Daily
of the
Mail
football.
or
Okay,
the Sun.
let's go. Crystal Palace, Gaeta. That's Gaeta.
Yeah.
So he's coming this season. Or did he play a bit last season? I think he did actually.
Maybe
A touch. But he's
when Hennessy got dropped, wasn't it?
dropped Palace fans. Palace fans love a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I did.
And he's their new
Who
Speroni.
was Speroni? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
They
they
do love a
know their
goalkeeper.
keepers in
That is
South
a
London.
very good
don't
point.
they?
Yeah. Definitely do.
He's had a great season. They've had a really bad year in terms of 2020, but
Hasn't got any goals.
has got low on goals, I'd say.
Assist?
He did throw one in. Did throw one in as well. Clean sheets, 6 in his total, 6 this season.
That's good.
In FPL, he's actually been really good, quite cheap, and gets a load of bonus points in them. 75 saves is quite good. I think that's just more due to Palace than anything else, but I think they'd be in massive trouble if it wasn't for him. And Palace is that kind of club where a goalkeeper wins Player of the Year quite often because they're ultimately just trying to get mid-table, aren't they? And he's going to be busy.
Yeah.
I think to potentially eclipse Zaha says a lot in that
That's
Palace
a
He's
team.
had a
Yeah.
poor season, isn't he? Zaha, but
Yeah.
I think it's easy to say his head's gone a little bit, maybe.
he could be. For me, he's either in best of a bad bunch or earned a move because he has been linked with a few other clubs. In recent
They
weeks.
had a good first half of the season, didn't they? It's only these past 2-3 months where it's gone a little bit to shit.
They're very safe at the moment, although they are on a really bad run.
A little bit of a flirt. The old relegations, yeah.
I think he's earned a move.
You could argue that he's a one season wonder, couldn't you?
Well, he's only had one season.
Because he's had one season, and goalkeepers get hammered when they make mistakes. Don't they?
True.
How many goalkeepers are there in the world where you think,
Perfect record.
they're built up and they're built up and they're built up. They make one error and then
The shit.
they're slammed down.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know what I would say as well? The way Palace play is perfect for a goalkeeper because it's not going to be passing out that much. You just be hitting it long to Benteke or Connor Wickham.
And you become the hero.
And so it's safe football for a goalkeeper, really. You've just got to do the saves. And but the bulk of mistakes generally come from your feet as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I would say. So I would say he's earned a move. He'll then get that move and then totally ruin it.
Oh yeah.
And go back to Palace where he was loved. Next up, Dan Burn. Quick fire with this because I'll be honest, no one came out in the Twitter question that I put out there. I looked on who scored. He's had a good solid season. He's had to play in 2 different positions. He's got the highest rating of all the Brighton players, and I put him forward. Any other? The only thing you can say with Dan Burn, you could either say best of a bad bunch or not for me. If you are saying not for me, who are you putting forward instead?
That's an interesting question.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's why you're here. And he's had a fantastic season, hasn't he? I mean, he's played in a variety of positions.
Compared to the rest of the side, or
well, not in comparison to the rest of the side.
You think generally?
I think a few players, Moyes is one that people always say, but
I like Moy.
But Maupay has had a good season. Okay, maybe he hasn't got the goals to go with it completely, but
yeah, Brighton as a team haven't. I think they've struggled a little bit. I struggled to. I put Dan Burn there, but I struggled to have him as the player of the year. I might even go not for me. Maupay.
They have to be
has
fair.
delivered.
They have. I don't think they haven't struggled compared to last season. They played a lot better football, and I think they're probably safe.
Yeah.
But look, I think it's
I'm
best.
not sure they are safe.
I think it's best for a bad bunch.
I'm not sure they are.
I think it's best for a bad bunch.
Okay, so best
I
of
don't
bad bunch.
think
I'm
he
going
is
not
the
for me.
best
I'm going to
of
go
the bad
Maupay instead.
You think he is?
I think there are some good players in that Brighton team. And
So what are you saying? Not for me.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Craig.
Then who?
I'll go with you, Locke. I don't know enough to add anything else to this.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Not for me is Dan Burn. Let's go. Let's stick with another goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. That's Martin Dubravka of Newcastle United fame.
Yeah.
Newcastle United are so boring.
We could
I
even
watched
just
some of the
do.
weekend. I was there on the weekend. I thought
He's
they were
a very good goalkeeper,
I thought they
isn't
were
he?
quite entertaining.
So if you want to go not for me, you'd go St Maximum. The reason I put St Maximum in there is because the stat they kept putting up in the Arsenal game was that they just don't score goals, and in particular the front line don't score goals. He scored 1 goal this season, so you can go for a few dribbles. That's great, but the end product from it is
Joe
terrible.
Linton.
He's
He's only got 1 goal, hasn't he?
but you don't find him scoring the goals because I thought Almiron he was good as well. They were quite creative, a bit more creative than I thought they would be, especially away from home at the Emirates. I think that if they had somebody up front, then they would do a lot more, and these players would have a lot more acclaim.
I do think they play very negative football, which leads to
a bit limited with
Dubravka
what
being
they've
the
got.
obvious
It's like
choice.
the Palace
I think he
analogy
is their
again,
best
isn't
player.
it?
I can't believe that we lost to them at St James's because they didn't do anything.
They were
But
far
they
more
scored in the last
positive
minute.
than I thought they would be at the Emirates.
I think he's best
think
of a
away
bad
from home.
bunch. I think it's obvious for me.
I feel like it's
I'd
Clean
agree.
sheets was
I think
good.
he is a good goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I think he is good.
and he's not one season wonder, is he?
Nope.
Okay.
Last season.
Troy Deeney. Now, I put Troy Deeney in there because we are recording this at a time there's a bit of the season left. Quite a bit.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
the reason I put Troy Deeney in there is because if they stay up, it will be down to him. Because once he came back into the team, his first game back I went to, which was Leicester away, and although they were pretty poor, they were just trying to hang in there. He's just such a focal point for them. He's so crucial for them. And he's been scoring goals for them. And if they stay up, it will be down to... A big part of it, I think, will be down to his leadership. Because he's actually a real talisman for that football club. So that's why I put him forward. And it was Decore was up there as well, who's been better. But the reason he's been better is because he's been able to play with Troy Deeney, because he can hold up the ball.
I think you're right with Deeney. He does definitely.
PFA nominee?
No, definitely not. He is. Yeah, he is that sort of that leader in a way, and a bit of a brute up front.
Has he earned a contract?
No,
Probably not earn a move. He doesn't want to go, does he?
I would go not for me because I think their goalkeeper Foster is class, and the number of saves that he makes, and you see every game he's making a ridiculous number of saves and just crazy saves as well. So I think another goalkeeper.
You go okay. So not for
That's
you're saying
for-
not for me.
that's
Good
That's
argument.
me
It's a
anyway.
Very good
That's
argument
me.
there, Ewan.
I'm going to earn a move / contract because that's probably what he is doing, which is a big jump.
I'd go with that as well.
I mean,
I'm with Irwin and Foster. Very, very persuasive, that Irwin. Makes a lot of sense. Like you say, he's not
Where's he
been
gonna
playing
go?
that consistently all season. Now he's come back. Now he might have an impact. But
Earn a move
he's not
contract.
huge
Do you think
in
he's been that? I mean,
But
that's
he's not
not.
been-
But
That's
Ben
not-
Foster was playing well and playing, but he wasn't keeping. He wasn't. It's not his fault, but he wasn't keeping them in games.
I'd say he
Deeney's
was.
winning them games.
I'd say he was keeping him in games. Happy to go with. If you want to go with the,
I'm gonna go
Look,
Lee-
he's the one we've already got down. So by default, he gets a contract.
Thank you. Okay. You can make a move at the end. Next up, Jefferson Lerma, Bournemouth. Not the most exciting. I saw him earlier in the season with you.
Yeah.
Steady.
Yeah.
Got about the pitch. Gets a lot of bookings. Got sent off the other week as well.
You sound like you like
you're
him.
really selling him. Yeah.
Best of a bad bunch.
Best
Done.
of, yeah.
Actually, no. Yeah, best of a bad bunch.
Thank you,
He's
Owen.
in.
Thank
They're not the
you.
best seasons, are they? Bournemouth, really.
I
not at all.
want them to do well
Why?
because I just feel like they mirror my football club Brentford a little bit, but
It's a bit bigger than them.
Same attendances.
similar.
True, isn't it?
Similar,
It's not
yeah.
a joke.
Bigger.
See
We
you
are
bigger.
They've been dreadful.
Best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, they have been dreadful. I remember watching the Brighton game when they played Brighton, and I felt that Brighton were far better. And then if you're saying that, no offence to Brighton, but
They're terrible, and they beat us.
What?
They beat
so-
us at home.
yeah.
Let's chuck someone in the hat that I believe, guys, could be PFA Player of the Year. If you want to believe in it,
Oh yeah.
I like this
Jack.
player a lot.
Grealish. I mean, talk about a PR spin or sway. He's gone from one end to the other. Everyone loves him. Chatting about it with Flav, and everyone's like, I can't like his hair. Everyone hated his hair, didn't they?
We're all slagging
I
him
used
off
to
with
moan
his
about socks all
socks.
the time.
So he hasn't
I
got
kinda
shin
like
pads
it.
on.
Yeah, I'm like, do you know what?
It's got a bit of character.
I like his calves. It's crazy. He's been absolutely crucial for them. 7 goals. It's just everything.
6
to them.
assists.
Absolutely everything to
Where
them.
does he move next, you think? Because he's got to realise his potential can't stay at Villa. As much as he loves the club and all that, he's kind of got to go
Yeah.
in the
He's
next
linked-
couple of summers.
He's linked with most clubs, I think, at the moment. He's been linked with Spurs, been linked with Chelsea, Man United.
He could play for Barcelona or Real Madrid, in my opinion.
Really?
I think he's
Yeah.
that
Now?
good. I think he's amazing.
Do you know
I
what?
honestly think he's
Do you
amazing.
know what I find
He's
really
got to start for
interesting?
England for me.
What I find
I
really
agree.
interesting about Jack Grealish is that when people talk him up, you have a whole camp of people who think he's overrated, partly because of what he looks like, but then the other way as well. So you have people who say he's awful, and then but because he looks the part, some people will try and push him back. I think he's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah,
So-
I think he's proven it this season.
And do you,
Yeah,
exactly. And do you know what he's proved for me? He proved in the Championship, he was playing against teams where generally they were dominating games, so you need to be able to pick through teams. With Villa, more so this year, they're playing on the counter-attack, and so he's good in either way, in either kind of team. So for me, he's definitely earned a move if he wants it. But I think he's a PFA nominee.
I agree.
I think I'll put him in the top
I agree,
top bracket. Been that impressed with him.
And then last season when he was injured, they really struggled in the Championship.
They'd be lost without him.
He dragged them into the playoff. They would be lost without him.
I'm not quite sure where he fits in the England side, but it's because I mean
Well-
midfield we struggle a little bit because you're going to have for say Henderson. There's 2 spots up for grabs in there, and he could take one of those ahead of a Maddison, for example, or let's say Loftus-Cheek if he comes back from injury and does well.
I think he's an excellent player.
Okay, he's in there. He's in the hunt.
24, isn't he?
Is he 24?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And captain, isn't he? He's become captain. West Ham, Declan Rice. I mean, I think this is an easy one.
Best of a bad bunch.
Yeah.
But that's almost doing it a little bit of disservice, being in that category, but it does make the most sense
Yeah,
descriptively, doesn't it?
Who's the winger? The left winger.
What, Felipe Anderson?
Felipe Anderson.
He's been dreadful.
Yeah, he's been dreadful. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
don't
yeah.
put him in.
So yeah, best
Definitely
of bad
don't put
bunch
him in.
really. I
Yeah.
think.
What about who's captain?
Noble.
Yeah.
I think that I went and saw them against Liverpool, and those two had a bit of hustle about them. Declan Rice was probably the one that stood out. The centre backs they did okay, but then they just an unforced error and
They've
another
played badly
unforced
in other
error.
games. Those
Yeah.
centre backs.
They
Arsenal
conceded
games,
so
for
many
example.
shots as well.
Yeah.
I think
He's
he
best
is
of a bad
bunch.
bunch. Yeah.
That's just...
So yeah,
That's just-
Not had a great
Come on.
season.
Okay, what
Please.
about?
Yeah.
What about quick one? Tarkowski.
Gob. Dom.
Yeah, I mean, at Brentford, I always said that he's the one that's going to reach the highest levels. Like even players like Malpai, I doubted, but I always knew that he would make it. You could almost say that he could play for Arsenal. Like he could play. He could play in the centre. I think he can make a move to a higher club. I think he suits the way they play. However, I think he wouldn't be out of place with his technical ability at Arsenal.
Should he move?
I think not just this season. I think over the last couple of seasons, I think he's earned a move. Would you say he needs a move?
Well, he's kind of flirted with the England team a lot, and I think if he wants to really get himself properly in there, yeah. I mean, it's that old cliche. I don't agree with it, but I do think him playing for Burnley affects Southgate's thinking.
Probably does.
That old cliche.
Do you know what? He's this generation's Shawcross.
Could be.
Yeah?
He's better on the ball.
But he's a much better player.
slag
He's a
off
much
Shaw,
better player.
Probably.
He almost moved to Leicester in the summer, didn't he, off the back of the Maguire?
Yeah, he did.
The Maguire ripple effect.
Yeah,
Didn't
the
actually come
ripple.
to
No.
because Ciunci's decent.
He needs a move, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Earned a move.
He's earned to move. And
Yeah.
on a new contract.
Yeah, just
certainly
that.
move.
Yep.
Adama Traore.
Funny player.
Funny player.
His career was...
Doesn't do weight. Bullshit.
I saw that.
Yeah, come on.
He's
must have done
I
some
did
weight.
weight a little bit, but I got too big.
Yeah.
You stop.
Got too
His time in
big.
Yeah.
Holland.
He's a good player, isn't
Do you think?
he's a good player.
Do you think they do the drugs test and they go? Adama, I think he best. And he's like again every single time. He's so huge. He's had a great season.
He's had a really good season. He's had a weird career where he's just bounced between a few clubs without playing.
He
that
did look
much.
like he was going to just fizzle. Going from the heights of Barcelona, he was fizzling down, and then he's really kind of put a stop to that, and he's going away now.
Do you know if this was like a kids football team and you were giving awards away, definitely win most improved.
Yeah.
Definitely
Most
win
improved.
Probably most improved
He's-
player in the Prem this year.
Potentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
He's terrifying.
He's always been noted. Like people have always gone
It's sort of
like,
like his pace,
as
though,
he's
isn't
going along,
Yeah.
like waited for him to actually do something.
Yeah.
But without the real end product. But
Yeah.
I think this season it's come along a little bit with some goals and
7
assists.
assists. at
And
the
he's
moment.
what, 23, which blows my mind. I
Yeah.
thought he was at least late 20s. You just see that
There's a stat.
it's just good he's starting because he's been doing weights for ages.
Yeah,
been away
I
forever.
used to get that a lot as well.
You
But
don't see
you
many
still do,
players.
right?
You don't see many players that are almost unplayable at times. And I think
I've
that's
got
what he is.
with that. I've got the feeling that it will hit a moment where it will just suddenly be unplayable for every game.
You think almost like a
I think it will
Ronaldo
happen
sort
at
of.
some point.
Then
You think?
And
You think that happened at Wolves?
Yeah,
You do?
I think no. I think it will happen. I think he'll learn a move and it will happen somewhere else.
Has he done it already? Has he earned that move?
I think he has done that.
He's not in the Spanish squad full yet, is
I
he?
don't think so. He's got to be. He's one of those where you go, okay, we're not going to start him, but he needs
chuck
to
him
be.
on.
Yeah,
Chuck him on.
because there is an impact.
You lose,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
chuck him on with 20 in a go.
I would say.
Is he good? Is he good enough to play for a team that totally dominates a game?
Probably. You can see him
Is there
playing.
enough space there for him?
You can see him playing for Man City, couldn't you?
Not starting for them though.
Not now, but
I think he'd. It's difficult. As Wolves evolve, I think he should stay where he is because as Wolves evolve, they'll start to dominate games more, and then he'll have to change his game a little bit to that because at the moment it still works for them quite well in terms of soaking up possession, defending quite deep, and then counter attacking.
I think he's earned
But
a move.
he's
But
definitely earned a
not.
move.
But I wouldn't go yet.
Or a new contract.
Or a new contract.
Danny Ings.
Good old
Weird.
Danny Ings.
Most
Season.
improved player. Competitor with Traore, surely.
Well,
Do
do you know what?
I mean, he was always
Improved.
good,
Yeah.
but no one expected this, did
But
they?
was he good?
No one's expected
It's
this.
got to be him in that team, isn't it? As in, he's the standout player in that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, that's probably the easiest player of the year,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Danny Ings.
How many goals?
Easily.
15 now?
He's got a lot of.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
About 12 in the league. 12, 13.
It's
in the
almost to
league.
the point now where Liverpool probably can even start to regret maybe selling him after what he's done. To have a player that's capable of
They
that.
did get quite a bit of money for him, and he was injured.
I do get
a
why
lot
they
of the
sold
time.
him. I didn't expect him to do this. Everyone thought it was a daft purchase at the time for the money.
It was about 25 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, which seems...
But
Even now it seems-
Southampton's fortunes have changed because of his goals massively.
100%.
Like they're
They'd
challenging
be-
for
they'd be
Europe
big
now.
time.
It's insane.
They were
They
in
got battered 9-0.
15
so
goals at the
much.
moment.
Yeah.
At time of recording.
Amazing.
And how
Amazing,
many-
actually.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
assist.
One
But
assist.
But that's not what he's about.
No, I know.
Do you know what I would say is a
Finishing.
lot of his goals have been really like weird, fluky goals. But I don't want to take that away from him because I think he's been
goals as
brilliant.
well.
And I'd say he's
A nominee?
He's a nominee.
He's got to be 15 league goals, yeah. Who's above him?
That's not
Vardy.
From where he
He's not
started,
league goals.
the injuries he's
Vardy
had.
Aubameyang.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, stick him in there.
I'm happy to go with that.
I'm surprised someone didn't try and buy him in January, actually.
Yeah.
He's only just kind of come back.
Yeah.
I think he'd be very disloyal to Southampton. He's been
I know, but
Just
if
injured for so long.
someone
I mean-
like Spurs, for example, with knowing they haven't got Kane and need another forward, I'm surprised they didn't come in with 30, 40 million.
I could potentially see a sneaky move in the summer for him.
Yeah.
He really should stay where he is for a bit.
But he's getting
Yeah,
on
I
a little bit. He's not got too long to go to a big club again.
Is he a
He's younger than you think as well. He's another
How
one of
old is
those. He's another one of those.
I know.
26? Is he a shout for England squad?
Yeah,
27.
100%. So, I mean, I think he's got to be looking. I've got maybe one big move left. I don't want to wait too long. But England squad, definitely, yeah.
Richarlison,
Dom?
Everton. Now, Dom, you're not sure about this fella.
No.
Why?
I'm not sure about Everton. And that's
I
not
think that's understandable.
the
I think
fan
that's
base
understandable.
at all. I think he's slightly overrated. I think if you had a lot of talk about him is about how many goals he gets. I don't think he's got as many as people think.
Let's have a look.
He scores them in braces, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I mean, he's evidently a talent. I'm just not sure where he fits. Is he an out and out forward? Is he a wide man? Is he a behind the striker?
I think he's had to adapt to the way that Everton play, or essentially the lack of firepower up front. So I don't think he's necessarily a forward.
Create a lot himself.
Yeah, I
He's had to do a lot
agree.
himself.
So I disagree, and I think
You like him?
I
don't
do
you?
I like him. Yeah, I really do. I think he's not an out and out forward,
No.
but he's got a lot of creativity and he can finish. And you could
goals.
see him playing, in sort of a number 10 role, or towards the left, cutting in.
Yeah. How many assists has he got? This
Three.
season?
Three assists,
Is
9
that
goals,
creative?
3
I don't
assists.
know.
I hear
don't know.
you. I hear you. I think there's a lot of pressure on him as well, though.
Yeah.
And so I think he's kind of got on with that quite well.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the Evans team in general with the money they spent. And he's
I think
And
and
how old is he?
He's 22.
Yeah.
22. That's young.
yeah, that is
And he's already
he's
moved.
got potential.
If I go,
two
you
moves
look, you
already.
can have Traore or you can have Richarlison. Which
I'll
one's
take
wrong?
Traore in a heartbeat.
Would you?
Yeah.
You're a
for the
winger.
for the rest of the
Winger is a
season.
sucker
For the rest of the season.
No, for next season.
I think that's tough.
I think I go with Traore just.
I'd have Richarlison.
So
Yeah. You're more of a creative, aren't you?
that's true.
You're Brooke
Not
Powell,
not
aren't
for
you?
me. Best of a bad bunch. One season wonder. Earn a move. / contract.
Not for me. I'll be honest.
Not for you.
I'm just saying what I think.
I'm going in. Go on.
I think when you look at Everton's season, it's been all right. And I think he's the best of a bad bunch. And I use the term bad bunch loosely. Everton are a horrendous team, but I do think he's,
Craig,
he's
I think
that.
you've made a great point there, and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. I agree. I think you're right. Best of a bad bunch is harsh, but
If this
he's
was an
not
Everton
blown-
in the top 5, 6 in the league, he wouldn't stand out quite as much.
okay.
I would have said contract, but I'm happy with that. In terms of best of a bad bunch.
You happy with that?
I get it.
He's got a big couple of seasons because he could be an amazing player, or he
That's-
could be like one of those where you go, yeah, he had the potential, didn't really do it.
Best of bad bunch is fair.
Okay. We're going to do 2 S's, guys. We're going to do 2 S's. Sheffield United, and then we're going to do Spurs. Oh, sorry, Spurs then Sheffield United. Son, out for the season now. But
Bit of a downer.
has scored. Yeah, don't want to start with a sour note.
I think
Spurs. I asked Flav, and he was like, he's
What
struggling.
player of the season?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, maybe Son. And then he went, I'll put it on Twitter. First, I promise you, first 10 replies, all different names.
Really?
so. Son not stood out that much then. I assumed he was, to be honest.
He's done well. So he's missed pockets of the season with injury or suspension or whatever it is. He has regularly scored goals. He's been a bit patchy at times as well, and part of that's been down to Spurs themselves struggling. But he does always step in and for Harry Kane, and he's brilliant.
He does seem to score
I-
crucial goals at crucial times.
I reckon you'll find, so as you said, if Flav said he wasn't sure and then all the Spurs fans weren't sure, I reckon Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, Arsenal wouldn't be able to. You're going to get a mix of players being put forward because none of them have had a great season, really, have they?
I guess the way I look at it is, I really rate Son. I think he's fantastic.
I do too.
But if you were to, Kane's been injured this season, but if you were to take one player out, you wouldn't want to take Son out.
Yeah.
Like if a Tottenham fan looks at the lineup and go, "Oh, Son's not starting," they'll be like, "Where?"
Yeah,
I mean, we can see it now, don't we? Like people are like, "Where the hell are we going to find someone who can score the goal?"
Good point.
Best and bad bunch?
I don't think.
No,
I think that's
I'd say contract.
New contract.
You could put him in the PF in the top one, but not this season. If you know what I mean, he's that good.
Contract,
But I'd give him a contract / a move.
Which, I wouldn't even say he's that. I think he's
He's
had a
that
good.
good.
He's had a good season. I don't think he needs, but I don't need. By saying he's earned a move, you're saying that he needs to. You're kind of saying that he can do better than Spurs.
Contract.
Then contract.
Contract, yeah.
Okay,
It's the same thing.
Three
But
votes.
whichever one.
Overruled.
Fit.
John Fleck. What a season this fella's had. This guy, like Sheffield United, I just love how it's literally like they've gone up. Premier League gone. Oh, we're missing a team. We'll just take one from a computer game with like random names. All right. Sheffield United are going John Fleck, Basham, like all they're proper like just English
The old
names.
school names.
And John Fleck, who didn't, was good in the Championship, but not like I don't think anyone really in that Sheffield United team, maybe Billy Sharp when they're in the Championship, like set the world alight.
I think Sheffield United fans would probably pick different players when they went up.
Lundstrom.
Norwood was the player, wasn't
last season.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Norwood was the player, wasn't it? That says so much about the system.
I think with Fleck, he's very intelligent. Like a lot of his goals have come from sort of late runs into the box, and again, he's not that sexy as a player, so he won't really get that many plaudits. But he's been so consistent for them and got goals for them. And they could get in the Champions League.
Yeah, fantastic.
Not many clubs. Not many clubs have that type of player actually at the moment that are arriving late into the box and scoring goals. And I think that's why he's doing so well.
How do you think he does outside of Sheffield United?
Sorry.
How did he do outside of Sheffield United?
He was at Rangers, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, if he was taken.
How would he do?
Do you think it's the
you're
more
saying
some of the parts?
Are you suggesting he's maybe earned himself a move, but will that move work out for him? He's one of those. Do you know what I can see him being? He could be the Chris Wilder's Kevin Nolan. Just follows him around.
I might be controversial and say one season wonder.
I don't think that might be the case.
Might be a shout.
And I know this is
harsh though.
This is really harsh as well. I think it might be the case for Sheffield United. And that's probably when you probably have people screaming at me now. You probably have people going, like Sheffield United fans in particular, going, "Oh, I will show you." I think that they've done a fantastic job, and Chris Wilder's done amazing. But
your head says that. My head says that as well. Surely, like any tactic, they all get figured out a little bit, and then it comes down to the quality of the players, and that team is the sum of its parts, isn't it? The quality of it is the sum of its parts.
I agree, and I think a few people will be picked off, and also I think the goal difference isn't as high as some of the top four. And, and I think that's although it's not the perfect indication, I think it's important to sort of bear that in mind. But
or even in a couple of years, it might be they're Burnley, aren't they?
Yeah,
they could be Burnley in 2 years' time, where they're safe in the Premier League and they're solid. But
in a competitive division.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
happy
Hendricks,
to
isn't he? He turns into Hendricks. Fair enough. We've been complete hypocrites there in terms of the first half and the second half of that debate. Doesn't matter. One season wonder. We haven't got anyone in there, so it's good.
This
right,
is important.
Got some tasty ones left. We really do. Let's go with Norwich first.
That's tasty.
This is the easiest one.
Pookie.
Pookie
Best
time.
of a bad bunch, really.
11 goals.
Which is good return
Should
to
have scored more
Premiership.
for me.
Good return to the Premiership.
No, I think
Considering
that's
the team's
harsh.
rock bottom on 18 points, I think that's fantastic.
To say he's got to score more is harsh.
Yeah, I agree. The team around him's not exactly chipping and supporting that much.
Yeah, they've created a good amount of chances though.
11 goals is a great return.
Yeah.
For a team that's rock bottom on 18 points.
When you think Vardy's got 17 goals,
Yeah.
and he's playing for Leicester, and Pookie's got 11.
Yeah.
Like he is. Watched him quite a bit, and the movement and his finishing's great.
Finishing.
Nice.
Very good.
And that's why
I think he's a one season wonder. And the reason why I say it is because I've seen him a couple of times in the Championship and he didn't set the world alight against
just scored a goal, didn't he?
Howard. He didn't score against us and twice.
He did score against us.
And I think he ran out of ideas a little bit, and so did Norwich against us a couple of times. So I would say it's a one season wonder. I can't see him being a Premier League player for that rest of his career.
He's not for me, because I actually think Cantwell's had such an incredible season. I think Buendia's had a good season as well, but Cantwell would actually be my one. I think you're probably right with one season wonder because Norwich are going down. So he'll, and I don't think they'll sell him.
Yeah,
No, I think
he'll
he'll
go
go,
on Pookie.
No, not many. Maybe as a backup.
Maybe a team that comes
I
up.
really like. He's a hero over there in Finland.
In Norfolk.
In Norfolk. And Norfolk as well.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
So I'm going on season 1, as is Dom, Craigie. What are you going for, mate?
I'm going for best for bad bunch.
You going what, mate?
4, best for bad bunch.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I am as well.
Right.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's a split. I'm typing it in, so I'm going to go 1-1. We carry on.
Fine.
Okay.
Finish.
We
Marcus
got 4
Rashford.
Oh, yeah.
That's Marcus. Don't know what his middle name is.
His injuries kind of screwed him. I think he was creeping towards PFA. I think this is the year that he probably stepped up and fulfilled that potential. And then it's just put the brakes on his injury on it a little bit.
You think he's close to being PFA?
He
Just
probably would have
Yeah.
been.
I think 2 more than likely, the Everton moves last contract. But it's the first, I wasn't sure for It's the first season I thought, I think he is going to fulfill that potential. I think he's class.
Would
14 goals.
say the
Yeah.
fact that you've got a striker who is going to miss a third of the season and he's still your player of the year,
Yeah.
I think he's the best of a bad bunch.
You think best? Yeah, maybe. Maybe by default, that's probably what it.
Bad
what it
bunch
is.
by United standards.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I think
best of a bad
Yeah.
bunch for them. And,
Thus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I would say he's the best of a bad bunch.
Is he out for the rest of the season? Well, it's going to be the majority.
Pretty
isn't
much,
it?
I think,
Yeah,
It'd be
well,
lucky to
yeah.
get that before the end.
It's
Well,
a
April.
shame. It's a shame, and it isn't a shame. Obviously,
Sure.
seeing Man United are.
I'm voting best of a bad bunch.
See, the thing is, I'm not sure if he is the best out of a bad bunch, but
I think he's
he
their
is.
best player.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
he's
too.
had the
See,
and,
I-
he's carried them on his back.
I think
he's best-
although he's
best
not
of that
played
bunch.
that much this season, I think Pogba is the best player at Manchester United.
You still think that?
Yeah, I still believe that, and I really do believe that. I think every time he plays, I've always been quite impressed with how he plays. I know that he hasn't done hit the heights as 100 million.
I think that's fair. I think it's
100
fair.
million player. I think Pogba is the best player, so I find it difficult to say he's the best of the bad bunch, personally.
But Pogba's not played.
No,
I
but
think-
So I think he's void.
is he not in the bunch then?
No, I don't think he's in the
Yeah,
bunch.
okay,
I'm
fine.
going-
If he's
I'm
not
going-
in the bunch,
I'm
then
going for-
yeah, then he's the best
I'd
of
say
that bunch.
he's not in a bunch.
Best of a bad bunch.
Best of a bad
Yeah.
bunch.
Done.
Done.
Jamie Vardy. Now, I'm going to chuck this out with an initial point. So he could be not for me or PFA nominee because he's the top scorer in the league, but he's had a really bad second half of the season.
It's not really bad. He just had a bad
Not as
run.
I think he's had 4 shots on target at time of recording.
Evans has
Madison.
done well.
Pereira's
Madison's done
Pereira's
well.
one of the best
Pereira.
right backs in the league.
Yeah.
So it's so
Tielemans is functional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Deeney
Yes.
kind of holds it together.
Oh right.
Chilworth.
He is still the player of the year for me. Most improved Harvey Barnes. But I think he's a PFA nominee.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Chuck him in there.
He can't be the current top scorer.
We've only
As
got
we
Yeah.
do this. And
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that.
We've also only got
Who
one
we-
in there, so we need a few more, don't we? Oh, we've got 2.
Kevin De Bruyne.
PFA nominee, chuck him in.
Yeah, that's not a waste
that's
of
not-
time.
that's not-
Assists
about-
galore.
But should he win the whole thing? We'll be debating that very soon. Stick around.
And also they'll be lost without him, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If
Well,
that was-
if that was a thing,
If that was the category.
Well, yes, if that was a category,
Yeah.
but it was just not.
which it definitely isn't.
Because that game, the first one, the Norwich one, defeat, and the Wolves defeat, both were the 2 games in that first period of fixtures that he missed.
Yeah.
He learnt his lesson.
He's excellent, isn't he?
He's
That's
fantastic.
his assists are phenomenal.
Yeah, it's insane.
They really are.
5 more assists than anyone else in the league at time of recording.
Yeah.
Okay,
Amazing player.
so only just a couple left now,
Technique's
really.
amazing.
Who have we got?
Number 10.
So number 10, Aubameyang. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Dom, you know
Yeah.
Arsenal. What do you think about this fella?
He's the goal. He's the goals, isn't he? If it wasn't for him, then they would be lost.
They'd be lost without him.
But, I mean, you look at the
So
whole
I feel
squad.
like we should
I think-
explain this, right? Lost without him was a tier, and then we realised this didn't work, so we got rid of it, and that's why we keep saying that.
I think Leno's had a good season as well. I think, yeah,
Leno,
but
yeah.
focusing on, I think it is fair to say that it is him who's the most important player for Arsenal.
Yeah, massively.
Could you say best of a bad bunch? I think
That'd be harsh.
I think that would be harsh.
Why is it harsh though when you've got Spurs are ahead of them, Man United are ahead of them, Chelsea ahead of them, and we've just said best of a bad bunch for all those.
We did it for Rashford. To be fair, don't we? Best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, I mean,
It could be that.
Is he a PFA nominee?
No.
well, maybe.
Has he earned himself a move even at his ripe old age?
Well,
15 league
yeah,
goals.
I think people will definitely be looking at him. I think there's a few clubs who are short of strikers, like Barcelona, for example. There are definitely a few clubs who be after him. He's up there in the goal scoring charts, isn't he?
Yeah.
15, he's got 15.
And where is he? In what position is he?
Third.
He's
The
third.
top is 17.
Yeah. And we're looking at Rashford as being,
I think, personally, he's earned a move / contract.
I agree.
How old is he now? 20?
No, he's 30.
Jordan thing.
Is he fit?
Yeah.
I always think it's a weird move to Arsenal because he had this reputation in Europe as being such a great striker, and he moved to an Arsenal team that weren't exactly. I felt he needed to go to a club that was guaranteed Champions League football and competing for the trophy at that.
I think
I
I think
it's a weird
they
move.
were, though, at the time. I think
Arsenal
things have
competing for
declined.
the trophy. I don't know when they last really
I
did.
think they've declined a little bit
Trophies.
since there.
I just thought his next move was always going to be that Barcelona Real Madrid type, and
yeah, but it's still good.
it's still he's got to move
I think
now,
he's earned a
hasn't
move.
he?
I think he's earned a
I
move.
think he has.
He's
Or a
30,
contract.
he's 31 this season.
He won't go lower than Arsenal, will he?
He's got to go.
So he'll either move on to Barcelona or something like that.
I think he's got
Or
loads
Dortmund
of years
again.
left.
Yeah.
He's one of those I can imagine him just keep going.
At least four.
I think that's
seasons.
the category he goes into.
Yeah, 2. Earn a
Yeah.
move. Earn a move. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
And we finish off with... So I put a tweet out on Twitter, of all platforms.
Weird.
And I asked... Because I was like, right, who are you putting forward for Liverpool? Because you could have Salah, you could have Mane, you could have Van Dijk, you could have Robertson, you could have Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could have Alisson maybe, but you could also have Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson won that vote with 40% of the vote. Now, that could have been other fans taking a piss. I don't know. But
No, it wouldn't
I've
be.
put him forward. And I think if you put him forward, whoever gets put forward for Liverpool has to be a PFA nominee.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Sure.
Has to
No,
be.
I think that's fair.
Not for me.
The question I would ask is 40% for him the wisdom of crowds or the madness of crowds? Because I know you don't like Henderson.
No,
Well,
right.
you don't not like him, but you think he's vastly overrated.
Yeah.
I feel personally that there are two players who are better than him for Liverpool, more important than him in that structure. Mane and Van Dijk. I think if Van Dijk wasn't there the whole season, that they would lose the
I
momentum.
say there's 4 ahead of him.
Firmino as well.
You put him in. I mean, this is.
But Fabinho was injured for a decent
mentioned
part of the
Salah.
season.
You mentioned Salah?
I didn't even say that.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's got 10 assists.
Yeah. That team's great and it's mental.
Are you saying not for me, Hendo?
Definitely saying not for me.
I like the story. I like the story
But
that he was
can we
getting
put-
shit for so
Can we
long.
agree on another player?
And then he stepped up.
I'm going Mane.
Okay,
I'd like him
right.
to win it.
Because I knew this was going to happen.
It's your plan on it.
I would put it. The thing is, right, it's not, and it sounds stupid, it isn't always about the best players. The players had the best season.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. Very, very different. Henderson has had a huge, huge season for Liverpool. And a big reason why Liverpool are different to Man City is not when they're going that way, when they've got the ball, they're shooting that way. It's when they're going the other direction. He's so integral with that. He's a leader for that team. He drives them forward. He makes them accountable. He allows Trent to do what he does and fills in for him a lot of the time. He's scored goals this season. He's the leader of that side. And he is the leader of that side. Because you can say Van Dijk does it from example to a point, but I always think that centre field is crucial. And Milner's not in that team anymore. I think he's a PFA nominee. If it's not for me, well, basically, so I think he's PFA nominee. He's who I would put forward, right? But you three need to decide if he isn't their best player, and if not, then he's not for me. And I'm happy to swap him round because Liverpool is just a different case this year.
It's a different animal.
So is it not? What do you think about Hendo? Is he their player of the year and thus a PFA nominee? Dom.
My personal opinion is that those two I mentioned, Mane and Van Dijk, are bigger for the team.
But who's had a better season?
And I personally think that they win the league with any of them missing, any of the three missing. I would say that the Van Dijk is the most important player for Liverpool.
Okay, so you're going not for me.
Not for me.
Seems harsh.
But
But not for me. It's harsh with Liverpool.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's judging it on their standard.
Whoever-
problem we're in.
They're gonna. Let's be realistic. If there's 5 or 6 that get the PFA Player of the Year gets narrowed down to the nominees, they're probably gonna have 3 or 4, aren't they?
Could have 5.
You could have all of
Easy
them.
to have 5.
Could be all of them.
But we
Yes.
need to. Well, I only want to put forward one. Liverpool
I'm
player.
going not for me and Mane. Is my.
So Mane goes to Van Dijk. Can I say one final thing on Henderson? Fabinho got injured for a big part of the season, and Henderson moved from the position that he was, that he'd recreated himself to get himself in the team, and then went back and played in that defensive role, and you didn't even have to blink. And that's with Fabinho out of the team. So he's filled in for other people as well. Like if you put Keita in there, or if you put Lallana in there, there'll be a problem. You'd lose a couple of games. Things could happen, but not with Hendo.
Craig?
I think Mane's their best player. He's a better player, and he should be Liverpool's nomination for Player of the Season, and thus step up the PFA nomination. I think it's quite. I think it's simple. Henderson. It just feels horrendous to put him in that category 5. It doesn't feel right at all.
I respect the vote. So
Who'd you go for? Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Henderson is out. Mane is in. Henderson goes into the not for me character. Poor bloke.
He's in 5.
I just don't think you can concede so few goals.
I'm really happy.
Right, yeah. But the ball has to get there.
Yeah, it does.
Who's stopping that?
It
Who's
does.
stopping the passes?
Mane.
So, PFA Player of the Year, we will be deciding now. Nominees are Kevin De Bruyne, Jamie Vardy, Jack Grealish, Danny Ings, and Sadio Mane. Tell me who you want to go with as your Player of the Year.
It's Mane.
It's Mane by a mile.
Yeah, because look, you can't ignore how much better Liverpool are. You just can't. It makes it so easy, to be honest. A Liverpool player cannot win. Not win PFA Player.
I agree. I think De Bruyne does come close though with 15 assists.
Yeah.
He's by far Man City's best player. But yeah, Mane.
Could
His
you
goals,
argue?
his assists.
Could you argue that De Bruyne would do more if he played for Liverpool?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Would De Bruyne keep Villa up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Single-handedly, you think De Bruyne keeps Villa up?
If you put
Would
De
he
Bruyne
have
in that
him
Liverpool,
alongside
in that
Grealish?
Villa team, I think
You think he has the same output as Grealish?
I think he's better.
He's better. Yeah.
I think he breaks down and gets injured, if I'm honest.
What, De Bruyne?
Yeah.
He's not as protected as much, is he?
I think Grealish is a shout in this.
For the
If
player of the year.
Grealish keeps up Aston Villa, that's an Aston Villa with no centre-backs, so they're crap defensively, so they concede goals. A team that the forwards don't, like, what's his name? Vesley. It's actually Wesley.
He's out for the season, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out from January, but I think he barely scored a goal before that.
One.
After that, no one's really scored any goals for them at all. In terms of like single-handedly being a huge part of a team and keeping them up, I get like teams winning the league, but I think, and people will go mad about it, he's always got to be one of the big guys. But put those other players in the Villa team, do they drag that team and keep them in the Premier League? Which
I
is
think
huge.
so. I think if
Yeah.
you put De Bruyne in that Villa team, then he'll keep them up.
Yeah.
I think
do
you're-
believe
I think
that.
Mane do right.
I think
yeah.
you're down.
Mane up front. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
I think you're downplaying how. I'm not saying Villa are great, but I don't think they're as bad as you're suggesting. Grealish is pulling them up towards.
Fair.
That
He's
makes
very
sense.
good. He's very
They're
good
not like-
at Grealish, isn't he? But
Horrendous Villa that he's done. It's a miracle.
The,
They could've stayed
the only argument I can see to Mane, other than to his fellow colleagues in Liverpool,
Nominees.
is De Bruyne.
Yeah.
That's the only argument I see, because I think he's if you had a fit De Bruyne for the whole season, I think he would be unstoppable.
he has been fit though for the whole season.
Yeah, other than now.
So, here's two questions. Who's the best player there?
De Bruyne.
Yeah, I'd say De Bruyne.
Yeah.
But has
You
he
should-
but has
you
he
can't-
had
you
the
can't-
best season? No, I don't
Who's
know.
Mane's
Mane's had a better season. than
Mane,
De Bruyne.
and you can't ignore Liverpool running away with it. And Mane's part of that. That comes into consideration.
Yeah.
So, Sadio Mane is our player of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's official.
In February.
Fair enough.
Congrats.
Fair enough.
And he wasn't even on the list.
And
Yeah,
he
he
wasn't even on the list. So, you see that coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
Late entry.
Well done, guys. Any other changes? I can't be asked to do that. So let's just
Leave it as it is. It's perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect.
So that was our player of the year. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Tell us what other tier lists we should do. Like the video. That feels like enough admin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
But thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Mane won.